Hi there, and welcome back to the Hub of Junior Golf Podcast. I'm Ryan Burr, joined as always by the founder of the Junior Golf Hub, Roger Nick. Roger, we are in the middle of it. Summer is here. The temperatures are hot, and so has been the play on the golf course. Record number of kids playing golf, which obviously is our goal, was our goal when we started this podcast, is to remind kids that you got to play. The only way to get better at golf is to practice, and then, of course, to test yourself in competition. Any competition really is it's as they always say. Did you have to write a number down after the hole? If you did, then that's going to make you a better player. So let's just start with kind of a grand overview, Roger, of summer, of Junior Golf Hub, of PDI, of kind of where you guys feel. Certainly PDI is probably in the best spot it's ever been. But when you just look and obviously at the Hub, you see every golf tournament in the country, really around the world, with the rankings and whatnot. Do you feel like kids are getting the message that it's time to go play?
Oh, definitely getting the message. I mean, it's been tournament play. The amount of players who are posting scores and events now is up about 17%, right, from last year. So we're seeing a huge jump in that, and I think that's I like to say it's a credit to our podcast, Ryan, and say, hey, get out there and play golf. But it's obviously it's that time of year where we're going to hear a lot of questions from parents and a lot of questions from young players of, hey, what tournaments should I be playing in? What's the deal with, connecting to coaches and so forth. And I think we say the same message over and over, which is, hey, go play, put the score down. Don't worry about rankings and just keep playing golf and getting better and developing your skills. I think that's the message we need to continue to hammer home, which, in fact, going back to what you just said about rankings, is why we created the JGH rankings in a different algorithm, which is you're going to gain credibility or credits for going to play golf, not pulling out of events and protecting a score and protecting your rankings. It actually is just going to take those things into consideration, that you're playing golf and that you are developing, and a coach can see all the things that you're doing versus just the good things that you may be doing. So we are seeing that uptick. So we're seeing a lot more scores into their profiles at the Junior Golf Hub, which is great. I tell you, the surprise to me, or maybe it's not a surprise, the women's or the girls' side continues to climb or outrace the boys' participation. So really exciting there. And I think if I go back and kind of highlight something there, I have a feeling that when you guys separated the boys and girls national championship, since then, I think I've seen, and I want to say it's contributed to that, a more earnest effort to play and participate for the girls or by the girls to get there and play in that national championship. I mean, the buzz around the tournaments, local events to the regional events have just been, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to get the shot. I want to get on national team. I want to get exposure. We're seeing it. So, kudos to you and NB3 and your team and what you guys are doing. I think that has a lot to do with what's going on there. But it's really good to see how much participation is growing in the competitive landscape. And I'm not saying the boys aren't growing. I'm just saying the girls are just outpacing what the boys are doing. So it's actually really fun to see that.
That's awesome. Let's just touch on the rankings, because they obviously the rankings were devised, decades ago with probably not a true point other than to have a ranking. And then, of course, because of budgets and whatnot, colleges begin to take those rankings and use them. Really internationally, we see that the kids are playing WAGR events at a much younger age, and they're using that system. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of pinpoint, or how do you think this whole parent play the ranking system began, and how do you think it stretched like a wildfire, like it did, where a kid's ranking is the final decision maker on whether a child plays or not?
Oh, wow. I mean, that's a big question, but I would say, Listen, it's been going on now for a little while, and I would say probably about the 10-year ago mark is when I saw a big shift in, okay, if my rankings aren't in a certain alignment with college coaches' viewpoint of whether you're good enough to get to that level. I think it's like anything, though. I think when you start looking at ranking players, ranking people in general, I mean, the SAT, ACT, they went through this. Is it actually valid anymore? Because all you're doing is you're testing to the test. So it doesn't really reflect your skills or your abilities to learn. I think that's what happens with rankings a lot, right? It's like, am I actually the player that I think I am, or is it just I'm actually showing my best scores, right? And I'm playing in the right events versus playing in lesser events. Even though I need those, I'm actually skipping quote unquote development to go play in a higher, let's call it a higher ranked field, because you got better players in the field, which is fine. That's what you want, play against the best. But you play against the best because you are ready to play against the best, not because you are trying to get a number value on an algorithm to tell you that your ranking is higher because you played in a higher level event, right? So I don't know if that made any sense or not, but I think the reality is that 10 years ago we saw coaches or college golf become very popular. I think because of the purses in the PGA Tour, I think there's the game just became more popular for whatever reason. I think it was it's good to see. I mean, as a golfer, as somebody in the golf industry, it's great to see the growth of the game. But I also think there's a downside to that too, which is if I'm not reaching a certain level of competency or ranking, if you will, by the time I'm 16, I give up the game, which is kind of what we saw also, right? We saw that kind of lull and say, I think about 2012, 2013 to about 2017, we definitely saw a lull where players were dropping out of the game at a certain level between that 16, 18 range when they realized they're not getting recruited. It went the other way, right? So it's good to see that players are starting to look at, I can develop my game, I can play a lot more events, I can develop later, and there's still opportunity. So I'm really excited about seeing where it's going with how things are happening at the college level. I think we spoke about this a few weeks ago. I mean, roster spots are going to change. I mean, there's going to be a squeeze at the very top, but then there's also another 900, 1,100 programs out there that's going to give kids opportunities to play. They may not be at the top 50 schools, but it's going to be outside of that. So,
well, here's my take. Follow the money.
Yeah.
And there are millions of dollars now, billions of dollars flowing into college athletics. And as we always said, it's a coach's job to win. I mean, yes, they want to nurture you. They want to make you grow you into a man and a woman. They want you to get great grades. But at the end of the day, they want to win.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of money now attached to winning and losing. So it was just a matter of time that this completely outdated arbitrary ranking system would be ultimately replaced by what the coaches are asking for. And we're starting to see that, and it's just going to be an absolute tidal wave. So I go and I listen to two of the most respected coaches in the game, John Fields, Casey Martin at Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in that boat now where, how I'm supposed to look at a ranking of two kids shooting 72 and some arbitrary system is going to tell me which player I should call? No. They've both now asked, essentially, I put this to other sports. It's amazing how far golf is behind every other sport in the recruiting process.
Yeah.
Like, who's the best? Who won the College World Series this year? You're a baseball guy. What team won?
Jeez, Ryan, you're asking a big question there. I watched it.
Well, good news is you stall for a minute, and I'll use the old Google machine.
Yeah, there you go.
Who one. I really didn't need to make this to make my point, but we'll get there.
Well, yeah, let's get there because I want to know now. Now I'm curious.
LSU.
LSU, yes.
That's right. Livy Dunn was all over the College World Series.
That's right.
Okay. We all know Livy Dunn.
Yeah.
All right. So LSU wins the World Series. So imagine their head coach in the recruiting process just seeing a pitcher's ERA and win-loss record. And that's all you see.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea how hard they throw.
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'd like to recruit you to LSU. How hard you throwing? I've hit 65 a few times. Like, no, but that's where golf is.
Yes.
There's no test that no other sport would do that, which leads us, it's been a broken record, but Martin and Fields have both looked at PDI and are like, finally, someone had the foresight, someone had the ability to, and certainly the Junior Golf Hub ranking system is going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But every single person that then gets a PDI score next to their recruiting or their ranking, which is, it's the ranking in itself is always going to be a little flawed because we have no idea. You chipped in 4 times, you hold out from the fairway. Like, that's amazing, but how repeatable is that?
Right.
The PDI score is actually what is repeatable.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually what every other sport uses before they look at batting average, win-loss record. In baseball, no one even looks at that.
Yeah, well, could you imagine, Ryan, the NFL teams going, yeah, we like these players. We've seen them play in college, but we don't really know what's underlying kind of the hood, if you will, of that athlete. Hence why the combine is so popular and is so influential, and how much money and where the draft pick these guys go. It's no longer, hey, you know what, you played well, you're on Alabama, football team, we're going to give you an offer because you're a winner at Alabama. No, there are too many good players and athletes out there that, by the way, predictive analysis says the long-term player here or the best pick for this role on our team is going to be able to do these skill sets or have these skill sets and do it longer than somebody who's already have some success, right? So to be able to do that now in golf, I do think it's groundbreaking. I hope it actually becomes a groundbreaking, moving, shaking thing. And people see it, which obviously we've gotten great feedback from some great coaches and influential people in the game that said, yeah, this is groundbreaking and we want to use it to make a difference in our recruiting process. So I think it's very interesting. I think it's going to be,
you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
So I'll just use Scottie Pippen, the great Chicago Bull, as an example. He went to, I believe, Central Arkansas State, unrecruited. Yeah. His freshman year, he grew 2 feet.
Yeah.
Like 24 inches. The next thing you know, he's this sick. He was a 5'8" point guard his whole life, and now he's a 6'8" point guard with all this skill. College golf is the last time where you play for a coach.
Yeah.
Like, just think about if the PGA Tour was drafted into teams.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, potential late bloomer, go look at the NBA draft. Half the guys aren't coming from the big schools.
Right.
They went to Dayton or wherever, and they grew. They got faster, bigger, stronger. And by the time the NBA doesn't care where you played college, they want the rawest, most upside ability. How great of an athlete can you be? I don't care where you played. I don't care if you were not on TV.
Yeah.
We're in a $1 billion business. We want to take the best available.
Yeah.
And golf, it's like your senior year of high school is the last time anyone looks at your potential, because after 4 years of college, no one cares.
Yeah.
You're on your own at that point. And that's why we see who did I have this week? Justin Lauer went to Malone University.
Mm-hmm.
Malone University. You know which state that's in?
No, have no clue.
Division III in Ohio.
Yeah.
And was in contention to win on the PGA Tour this week. JT Poston, not a single recruit, not a single letter out of high school, went to Western Carolina.
Yeah.
Now won 3 times on the PGA Tour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those stories, you don't think every single coach wishes they had taken JT Poston and Justin Lauer?
Yeah, that's
They
right.
missed him.
They missed them. Well, there's more misses than there are hits.
There
put it
are.
that way, right? I mean, that's
And the transfer portal kind of makes up for all the misses now, because you have a guy go to Western Carolina that wins his first 6 events, and he won't be at Western Carolina the following year.
Well, it depends on how much money he gets offered.
Right. Seriously. So ideally, and I've already just blown this way past where we were supposed to go with it, but ideally, if every single junior golfer had a PDI score and it was part of the ranking system, I mean, just imagine how much more college coaches would appreciate that ranking raw score than what's been available for 200 years.
Oh, no. I mean, it's why we did it, Ryan. It's why, looking at it, I think we've had this conversation multiple times, and I've had it now millions of times, it seems like, around the globe. And, to your point of taking athletes in the Northeast, where I started our academy, and seeing the potential of these young athletes and seeing that they're not getting opportunity over other players who are going to other schools or having college opportunities, it was like, well, how do I actually show the coach this is a better pick because of the potential, the skill sets that they have are not showing up in tournaments yet because there's just so little tournaments. When I was first opened up in the Northeast, I mean, 20 years ago, there were only 4 junior golf tournaments in the Northeast corridor. I mean, 4. Now there's about 150, right? So, I mean, it's so changed, and obviously it's a great hotbed, which is Keegan Bradley from the Northeast. Nobody, almost no recruits there, and goes to St. John's. I mean, Ryder Cup captain. I mean, the stories are endless, right? So, I wanted to make sure that, as developing young athletes, they develop the skill set, and score matters, right? Performance matters. So you can actually turn that into something that is a predictive, and a analysis tool, right? So now you can go, they've got the skills and the performances. So it's just a matter of time before they actually break through. So you can keep that going, which is the idea for us now, is now these young high school kids do this, the college players do it. And after that, they continue doing this at the PGA level. It's only going to help them get better, right? It's just defining where they are with their skills and what's changed.
So let's segue into PDI. I'll give you a little update from the Junior Golf Hub Notah Begay III Junior Golf National Championship. So as you've heard on this podcast, there are 6 regionals that will, and 3 have already happened. They run a full coach guided. The entire PDI team goes to various cities, and in the various 6 cities. The first 3 that we've run, unfortunately, massive waiting list because we can only get from sun up to sundown. You can only get so many players through. All sold out with every spot taken with waiting lists. The next 3, same thing. All 3 are every tee time, so to speak, is full with a gigantic waiting list, which is wonderful to see. We now have over 2,000 kids, Roger, that have either done the coach guided or the self-guided PDI and have a score. So if you're not one of those 2,000, clearly, this is like if you play the stock market and you never messed with crypto, and then you look at the last 10 years, you're like, wow, I really should have been in that Bitcoin, shouldn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But that's the analogy. Like if you're not in PDI yet for your son or daughter, you will be. It's just, will you be late? Will you be now, or were you early? Because it is revolutionizing junior golf. That is not hyperbole. I just listened to the college coaches. More importantly, I listen to the parents and the players that go through the self-guided at the 3 regionals, and I listen to them. and they are the ones. It's unbelievable to have one of the Hall of Fame coach, John Field from Texas, Casey Martin from Oregon. But when I hear the parent and the player after they go through it with the wow factor of, wow, I didn't realize Johnny was this in this area. Boy, we never knew we needed to do this more. Well, how often does Johnny chip? Maybe once a week. Mostly, we hit buckets of balls at the range and then go play when we can. Okay, well, your PDI score shows that. Mm-hmm. Shows that there is a weakness. We're not spending enough time chipping and learning to play in the short game area. So those numbers I just gave you, Roger, they obviously are very strong. Mm-hmm. I love hearing the parents and the players once they're done with the aha moment of, I get it now. Yeah. I get why this is so important.
Yeah, no, it is fine. I was just at a local event and just same thing, right? Hearing the parent kind of going, wow, where was this a couple of years ago, right? I mean, so yeah, we want parents to say that. We want them to understand that, it's not a one and done thing too, right? It's a continuum. So let's hope that they continue to do this, because those who maybe missed out this year, next year, maybe there's more events, more opportunities. So we would like to see them come back to the next year's regional locations, right? So yeah, we just want to see it keep going. I mean, I think it's great.
With your academy, yeah. How often would one of your full-time academy players do PDI?
Yeah, so the way we have it at the academy, because obviously we can control their time and so forth. So we go through what we call our full assessment 4 times a year. So we do that every quarter, making sure that everything, and we do a lot more extensive kind of other assessments that go along with this, and it's how we've gotten to the coach guided data. But so we do the full 4 times a year, and then we do the coach guided every 6 weeks. So if you think about every 6 weeks in a 40-week time, what is that? Almost six and a half times on top of the full. So, so they're going through it on a regular basis. We do a coach guided. Actually, let me take that back. We do a coach guided every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, every Friday, we go through the coach guided on at the academy. So these guys are seeing it a bunch, which is, I think, why 20% of our kids qualified for the U.S. Junior national team, not teams, but the championships. So we feel very confident that more than 40% of our kids are qualifying for the NB3, regionals, and they're going out and qualifying for the best tournament.
So in between those 2 weeks,
yeah,
how much will what happened in the coach guided on after Friday to 2 Fridays, how much will be of their practice and routine is driven by what that PDI ultimately told player about his game?
Well, all of it. I mean, every single athlete has their individual plan based on their own assessments. Obviously, golf is a game that has, there are certain skills required of everyone to play at their best, but but everyone has their individual plan. So everything relative to your assessments, get implemented into your practice plan on a weekly basis, which then every week is monitored and managed and then also tested. So that really helps them stick with it. And then obviously they look forward to going, okay, how did I improve? Did my skills improve? So that second week, they're going back and going, yeah, I want to see what happened. And then so if we didn't see the improvement we thought we would, we'd stick with what's going on and we'll keep doing it, right? So, but knock on wood, I mean, we've always seen progress. So it's continual progress, which is great, which is what we're looking for.
That is certainly amazing, and that is what ultimately, at the end of the day, scores and whatnot are important. But that player development, player improvement is what is so important. We are at July 10th, so August, September, October. We are in 4 months from now. The World Championship at Coushatta will have concluded and will be over. So we're inside 4 months. at the Nota Begay, jgnc.org, where we encourage you to do your self-assessment today, get on the worldwide leaderboard, and try to get a coach-guided assessment as well to be part of the exemption process. But we're inside really 3 months, Roger, ultimately before the best players now from around the world really ultimately will have an opportunity. Really neat thing. We had 14 players from Thailand come over to the United States for the entire month of July to work out at your new academy in Florida. How is this just opened in Florida? I mean, we know about the Performance Center in Connecticut. It's as spectacular a place as I've ever been, but now one in Florida as well.
Yeah, no, we're really excited. We had the opportunity to expand. We've always gone to Florida every year for our winter development series, if you will, in Connecticut. And we've been looking now for about 10 years on a location. I think we settled on one in Port St. Lucie, we're at Ballantrae Golf Club, and which is in conjunction with RPS Academy, which runs tennis and volleyball and soccer. But we are the Golf Performance Academy there, and we're really excited about it. It's going really well. Again, kudos to you guys of helping us get some students there, and we're going to have about 20 kids there this fall. We're looking forward to building out, kind of facilities there. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're really excited about where it's going. And, the greater vision there is that we want to have 6 of these locations around the country and potentially around the world, where we'll have some centers of excellence that's going to be driving more participation, maybe closer to some homes, if you will, so that they can get out there and play in these junior events and get their coach guided and work towards their ultimate goal of being the best player they can be. So we're really excited about number 2.
All right, we'll go with some rapid fire questions to finish up, Roger. You have no idea what's coming here. So
oh no.
Keegan Bradley, should he captain or should he play?
The way he's playing right now, he better play.
He should play. Would you consider Patrick Reed, if you are Keegan Bradley, to play on the Ryder Cup with everything that comes with Patrick? Would you take him on your team?
No.
That's rapid fire right there.
Yeah.
Who wins the Open Championship?
Roy McIlroy.
Wow, in Ireland. Wow.
I think it's his time. I think he's playing bad enough right now since the Masters, and so I think he's ready. And
Scotty, who wins everything, is a little neutralized. He doesn't play his best golf there.
No, he doesn't. I think although you always got to watch out for him, right? You always have to watch out for him.
All right. Last thing we need to touch on, because it's very important for what we do, which is get players to play college golf. Finally, the LPGA and NCAA golf have created a pathway. Does not quite reach the standard that PGA Tour U does, but it's a first step. Top 10 in the LPGA college golf pathway opportunities on the Epson Tour. Your thoughts?
My thoughts, great first step. I'm glad they did it. I think it's going to help. I think it's going to help get some more girls going to college and playing and staying in college. And, as we know, right? I mean, the LPGA is not normally or typically a college-bound tour. I mean, most of the players are coming from international play, and it's not necessarily going through the college route. I think this is hopefully in an effort of a conjoint effort with the USGA and others in the women's game to kind of grow and steward the game into that competitive level higher for the U.S. kids, girls, women. I think it's a great step. I think it's long overdue. I'm so excited to see them do it. I know we've got a few girls that was hoping this was going to happen. So I'm really glad it's done. And I hope they get to a point where it does get to the LPGA versus just the Epson Tour. I think that would have a lot more weight. But I'm glad to see they made the first step.
Yeah, I mean, what PGA Tour U has done is, I mean, there are rare cases due to academics or different things, but the reality is college golf is the number one pathway to the PGA Tour. Even more so, I know the Korn Ferry has more spots, but just think about this for a second. Think about the math in your head.
Mm-hmm.
There is an accelerated program that Koiven and Clanton got in, but it's really designed just for the senior year of college. So it makes you stay 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay. You've stayed 4 years of college. Now you've obviously weeded out for the first 3 years of college a lot of your class, injury, whatever it is, academics. You're down to a smaller amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's just say there's 20 people that can win PGA Tour U.
Yeah.
You got to beat 19 players.
Yeah.
You got to be 19 players for full PGA Tour access, exemption, everything.
Yeah.
You got to be 19 players. I mean, put me in a field that small.
You put me in a field that small, I'll go at it every single day, my hardest. And again, I mean, I think that's the draw for the American player, right? I mean, if you can see the kids now playing in school. I mean, listen, I'm surprised Sargent, who through the accelerated program obviously got his card before his senior year through, playing well throughout the world, if you will. And you see him out there now playing on tour and actually doing well. I was surprised because he went through a little bit of a slump at the end of his college career, but the competition is just so good. I mean, it is just so good. I mean, obviously we see these young players, these junior golfers making on the PGA Tour and Korn Ferry Tour. So, I mean, they're playing well and actually exempt out there. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Last thing, because I apologize. I'm going to give you one more here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that use the analogy, I wish I could putt like a junior golfer.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all seen in the 10 and 11, 12 and 13 division, these kids make everything, right? Zero scar tissue, zero fear, and they just make everything. We've all seen it. Do you believe that transition from college to the next level, the PGA Tour, when you now are a professional, and Luke Clanton comes to mind. He was a top 10 machine as an amateur. He's missed back-to-back cups on the PGA Tour, finishing about last in strokes gained putting, giving up around 6 shots to the mean. He was a great putter in college and junior golf, and it's the second he turned pro, he's now, by the metrics, a horrible putter. Small sample size. I'm sure he'll get out of it. I'm just curious if you think there's something psychological when you put the professional next to your name.
I would say the expectations of not embarrassing yourself or not the expectation not to embarrass yourself is probably there. I think he's still a great putter. I don't believe in the strokes gain information necessarily as much as some others do. I think it's valid for individuals. I think Luke Clanton is going out and learning how to deal with the differences of being a PGA Tour player. Listen, he's been out there long enough. He's played enough PGA Tour events as a collegiate player, as an amateur, that it's no different. I think putting the stamp as a professional beside or behind his name, I think he just has expectations that everyone's now saying, hey, well, you should go out and win because you almost won as an amateur. You almost won. I don't think he finished outside of top 15 when he had exemptions, right? So all of a sudden he's, outside the top 30 or 40 or missing a cut versus almost winning. I think that's just, a little bit of self-induced pressure. I think he's a great putter. He's a great putter. I think the guys on tour are just used to the fanfare, right? I think he's used to it. I just think he's putting a little extra pressure on himself. And I think, unfortunately, you do get the commentators, you do get the kind of the noise out there that says what's happened to Luke Clanton's putting versus, he's a great putter. He just needs to continue to play.
Yeah. Well said. And I think we all believe that a win or another great finish is right around the corner. All right. No Patrick Reed for Roger Nick. We got it on the record, Roger.
So who do you have? Who's your pick for Keegan?
I think this is going to be really tricky for Keegan because Brian Campbell has won twice. One of the lowest club head speeds in tour history, really.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Spawn is on the team, second at the Players, and then, of course, winning the U.S. Open. He's on the team.
Yeah.
And then Ben Griffin was selling insurance, and now he's won multiple times.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, this will be such a different look. And maybe that's a good thing. But, boy, I feel like for 15 years, you could just absolutely rubber stamp in the Thomases, the Spieths, the Dustin Johnsons, the Koepkas, the Cantlays, the Schauffeleys.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you got guys on there now that, boy.
No one's ever heard of.
No, good for them, yeah.
Yeah.
And Noda and I were joking, though, at Bethpage Black, Keegan might need to move up a couple tees with Brian Campbell.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I can tell you 11, 12, 13, he's not going to reach the fairway. I mean, the carry to the fairway, I'm not kidding you. The carry to the fairway is about 250. You know? I mean, it's daunting sitting in that back tee.
So I think it's going to be a very, very interesting FedEx Cup playoffs. And then obviously we all can't wait to see what happens at Bethpage Black. But I think he plays. And I'll be honest with you, I think the ultimate reason he decides to play is because I don't think he likes that next player that would be him or that other player. I think he worries about that player in that environment.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. And I listen, not for nothing, Keegan Bradley's a good, solid player in those environments, right?
Yes.
I mean, the record speaks for itself. His tenacity speaks for itself. And I'm also going to say he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's played the last couple of years with a pretty big chip on the shoulder. He's come out and said, hey, I deserve to be on this team last time, and was off of it, right? So I think he's going to give himself the no matter what. Yeah,
he should call Tiger, tell Tiger to come up and help him out a little bit and go play. Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting next few months. That is for sure. All right.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us. Hope you, really got something out of today. Certainly a little unorthodox, but I think we, a couple times a year, we need to take a step back and analyze where the junior game is, where your son or daughter can improve, what they can do to be improving. Because at the end of the day, that's what we are here for at the Hubba Junior Golf Podcast. It's to just try to make your player better and know the pathway that it takes to reach their goals. So for our director and producer, Michael Nick, for Roger Nick, I'm Ryan Burr saying until next time, we will see you real soon on the Hub of Junior Golf Podcast.